Start here. All right, Shalom Israel. You're on live with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Priest and Captain Soccer War holding down the class here in Memphis, Tennessee. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have classes from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time in Memphis, Tennessee. For you brothers and sisters tuning in, you got any family, loved ones, people you care about in the Memphis, Tennessee, and surrounding areas, get them in contact with us here at the IHPK. Since 1969, we have been teaching the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And in the times that we're living in here in the year 2021, there's nothing more important than for so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to know the truth of who they are, where they come from, and what their purpose is here on the earth. So we had these classes 3 nights out of the week to give brothers and sisters an opportunity to go into this book called the Bible, to get some knowledge, wisdom, and understanding concerning how we are supposed to be living on this earth, abiding by the rules of our Father so that we could be the people he called us to be and inherit the promises of the kingdom that was given to our forefathers, all right? So tonight is Thursday night scripture breakdown class. This is the class that we like to go into any and all questions are always ready to be answered in any classes, but for specifically for the scripture breakdown class, we like to go into those topics that are common, that come up commonly because of the religions of Christianity, Islam, and the false beliefs out there about the Bible, all right? So the topic for tonight's class is what makes a man choose death. I wanted to talk about, the scriptures tells us that there's only 2 choices we all have in life. It's either you're going to choose to serve the Most High and live, or you disobey the Most High and die. Well, if that was that easy of a choice, why are so many people choosing death? We're going to talk about that tonight. If there's any brothers and sisters have any questions, if you're in the class, just raise your hands. If you got any questions online, all you got to do is type them in, all right? So don't be afraid to ask any questions. A lot of times, the question that you may have, the answer could help another brother or sister who may have had a question or was shy or afraid to ask, all right? So anytime brothers and sisters bring questions, it always helps the flow of the class run smooth, all right? So if there are any questions in the class, don't hesitate to just raise your hand. And if not, we're going to go into the topic for tonight's class, all right? So any questions? All right, no sweat. So let's go into it. First, we're going to go into the book of Deuteronomy. We're going to go into the 30th chapter, where it was established. So we because of Christianity, we've all heard we all heard about free will, right? That God gave us free will, gave us the ability to choose how we wanted to live our lives, and that was what made us different from the angels. All right, Christianity, they teach that when God made the angels didn't have a choice. Angels had to do what God told them to do. But when God made mankind, he gave mankind free will. Gave us the ability to choose how we wanted to live our lives and choose to be free and do what we want to do. That is a lie. God did not create us and put us on this earth to do whatever the hell we wanted to do. God put us on this earth and then gave instructions to a man, our greatest forefather named Adam, and gave him the rules of life, gave him the blueprint for how to live on this earth. Some people followed that blueprint. Other people chose to not even pay attention to the manual, do their own thing. Following the blueprint is living. That's life. Not following that blueprint is death. That's not free will. Everybody understand? Yeah. It's either you do what you're supposed to do and live, or you don't do what you're supposed to do and you die. All right? We're going to go ahead and get it out the scriptures. I believe it's Deuteronomy 30 and 15, but let me see. Yes, let's get Deuteronomy 30 and 15. Super Ice, you got it.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil.
Moses said, I set before you this day life and good and death and evil. That's what was given to us. We weren't given free will. We weren't given, hey, you can choose to do what you want to do. Live your life how you want to live it, and everything is going to be okay. We were given two options. Choose life and good, choose evil and death. Read on.
And that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply, and the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land where thou goest and possess it.
So if you choose life and good, you're choosing to walk in the ways of the Most High. You're choosing to obey his word and obey his commandments, that you may live and multiply. Everybody understand? That's the one option. The life option is I'm gonna obey the Most High. Everybody understands? To love the Lord, yes. Right. To love the Lord is to obey him. Everybody understand? Christians love to say they love God. Oh, Christianity is all about love of Jesus. Love Jesus and Jesus loves me. I remember all the little songs they used to teach us as kids. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. All of that's not in the Bible. You're not gonna find that in the Bible. You understand? All of those things that Christianity pushes removes the choice from you of choosing life. They force on you the idea that no matter what you do, God is with you. No matter what you do, Jesus is going to hold your hand. No matter what you do, God knows your heart, so everything is all right. That's not what the Bible says. The scripture says to choose. You have a choice. Choose life or choose death. Many of us weren't even given the option of choosing life. The knowledge of life was removed from our understanding, from children. But now we're coming into the understanding that, oh man, you mean to tell me that the reason why my life has been this way is because I've been choosing death? The reason why I had all those close encounter situations and I found myself in those places where I barely escaped with my life, with my freedom, was because I was in the midst of choosing death. Well, now that you're getting some understanding, now you're getting some knowledge, the choice of life is to obey the Most High, to do what he said to do. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 17. But if thy heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but thou should be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that you surely will perish, and that you shall not prolong your days upon the land where you pass this over Jordan to go and possess it.
Everybody understands. If you choose to obey the Most High and love him, and you'll be blessed, you'll multiply, you'll go in the land and you'll flourish and you'll thrive. If you choose, but if your heart be turned away, if something changes your mind, if something throws you off course, if something turns you away from choosing life, then what's waiting for you? You understand? Moses said, I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land whether thou goest over Jordan to possess it. And think about the life that we're living in the Black community today. Think of all the young brothers and sisters losing their lives to gun violence, losing their lives, you know what I'm saying, to drug addiction, losing their lives being killed by the police. Why are these things taking place? Because these are the people who have chosen death. These are the people who, many of them had no knowledge of choosing life, had no knowledge that there was a God that they could serve and obey. Why? Because of Christianity. You understand? Because of Islam, because of all of the evil religions that's out there. There's a religion that's out there that doesn't get talked about enough, and it's the worship of money. You understand? Now, that largely comes from Christianity, but there are people who don't believe they're religious. They don't believe in God or Jesus or none of that, but guess what? They believe in getting rich or dying trying. They believe in money over everything. It used to be money over business. Now it's money over everything. You understand? Everything. Your brother, your mother, your sister, everybody. You understand? And it's what's foul about it is they are brothers who are out here risking their lives, selling drugs, destroying other brothers and sisters' lives, selling drugs. Then they get the little bit of money that they've been hustling for, and they still not satisfied, still not happy. That religion of worshiping money is one that'll drive you insane, because guess what? You'll never find salvation if money is your God. You'll never get heaven if money is your God. There's never going to be enough. What dollar amount is, well, I got enough money, man. I'm straight now. Never. That's why you see rappers, you see Jay-Z still dropping albums. You see Nas still dropping albums. You're like, ain't you like 48, cuz? You still in the booth rapping? Why you still rapping? Because Jay-Z ain't got enough money. Nas ain't got enough money. You would think Rick Ross bought Evander Holyfield's mansion down there in Atlanta. He's sitting on like 300 acres. Rick Ross still making Wingstop commercials. Still rapping. You would think, well, damn, Rick, you done made it, man. Chill. Nah. Nigga, what? No. Why is it never enough? Why is it never enough money? Because, you know what I'm saying, Chevy drop a new car every year. Jordan got new shoes released every 2 months. When I can't have enough money, because what am I doing 10 years when they drop the new, you know what I'm saying, the new whatever is coming out. That's our oppressor's religion. You understand? And it falls under the category of capitalism. Capitalism is an evil thing, man, because it makes the needing of things more important than life or death. And there are people who are dying because they're following a religion that cannot sustain them, that cannot fulfill them. Everybody understand? You understand? Understand this. We live in a time where the earth is rampant with depression. Everything that they categorize as mental illness, right? You got depression, you got bipolar disorder, you got schizophrenia. A ton of people got anxiety, anxious all the time. All of those are demons, right? But they're demons that have always been around. Depression has always been a thing. Anxiety has always been a thing. The reason why it's magnified so much in this generation is because it feels like all the things that you want in life are right there for you to get. But in reality, they're not right there for you to get. You understand? 30 years ago, graduating high school, some people just knew, I'm gonna work this job till I'm 50, man, and that's it. They just knew it. I'm not going to college cat. I'm not about to get no computer degree. I'm not about to work with computers. I ain't good with none of that, man. I'm good with my hands. And he had the understanding at 19, 18, I'm gonna do this mechanic job, man, till I'm 50 like my old man. And that way he was able to go to work every day, work his job, make his little bit of money, pay his bills, give his money to his woman, go to the bar, have a drink, and then come home, go to sleep, and then get up Monday and do it all over again. Because he didn't have an expectation that he was supposed to do something more with his life. You understand? 100 years ago, cats on the plantation, you born into the plantation where I'm going to live. It wasn't, one day I'm going to go and be the man on TV. Wasn't no TV. You a nigga. You're not about to be the master. So they went through their life. They had depression, but it was, hey, man, this is the life. This is how it is, man. It's rough out here. It's just a messed up life. It's a cruel world. But we live in a time now where everybody thinks that they can be famous. Everybody thinks that they the next, name somebody on TikTok or YouTube. Everybody think they the next sensation. Everybody think, man, I'm one beat away from being Little Baby. You're not ever going to be Little Baby. It's not going to happen, brother. It's just not, it's not going to happen. Not because it can't happen. Not because it can't happen, but you don't know what these people, you don't know how much hard work goes into being a Little Baby or being a Jay-Z. Nobody wakes up one day and says, you know what, man, I'm going to be a rapper. Yeah, man. I'm tired of working this 9-to-5 job. I'm just going to go start rapping. That ain't how it happened. Rappers been rapping since they was 5 years old. They've been scribbling rhymes on their notebook and getting, writing on the wall, getting spanked for writing rhymes down. This cat been trying to be a rapper his entire life. But you think you could be a rapper tomorrow, so guess what? You're stressing. You're at work stressing, hating your life, hating your job, because I'm really supposed to be a rapper. On Instagram, on all the social media sites, looking at all the rappers doing rapper things, and you hating your life because you got to go to work every day. When what's wrong with going to work every day? What's wrong with your life? You understand what I'm saying? You look at the cats, you watching basketball, seeing LeBron James, you think you're going to grow, you're going to be LeBron James. You're not going to be LeBron James. NBA. It's 216 positions in the NBA out of how many millions of people. You're not going to get in the NBA out. It's not going to happen. You understand? But because of the world we're living in, our oppressor makes it seem like everything is easy. It's right there for you to be. These brothers choose drug dealing because they think that they gonna be Big Meech. They gonna be Larry Hoover, or you know what I'm saying, whoever the drug dealers are. You're not gonna be him. You're going to jail, or you're going to die. You understand? But there's not enough out there deterring them because they haven't been given the option of choosing life. Everybody understands? Keep reading. We're gonna read the end of this.
Verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live, that thou mayest love thy Lord thy God, and that thou mayest obey his voice. And thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto you by thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, and to give them.
Everybody understand? Moses made sure that it was established that this is what was set before us. You understand? So that there would be no excuses for anyone we didn't know. Even now, in this time that we're living in, I'll talk about there's brothers and sisters who don't know about this choice of life, but there are brothers and sisters who know that there's a better path. You understand? Brothers, right, we're at a time right now where, again, everything is on social media. You can go on there and you can see NBA highlights. You can go on there and watch, you can search anything on the internet and find it. You can type in, cat fights and see videos of cats fighting. You can type in, just all kinds of random things. But guess what? You could also type in the truth about God. You could also type in, anything. You can type in everything. And when we go out and we go and teach places where everybody see us. You understand? The Most High always gives us an opportunity to learn the truth, to change our lives. The Lord ain't just allowing people to die, with no opportunity to change. We in a time where the Lord gonna give brothers and sisters an opportunity to change. If they don't change, then guess what? Their life or their death is going to bear witness that the Most High was against them. All right. So Moses established this choice for us way, way back when we was in the wilderness, right? Coming out of the wilderness, we went and we inherited the land of Israel. We went and we had a place where the Most High allowed us to grow as a nation and to thrive and to establish his laws. Well, what is it that caused us to fall away? What is it that caused us to begin to choose death? All right. So you ready to raise your hand? Come on with it.
They didn't want to follow his law.
We didn't want to follow his laws. But what caused us to not want to follow his laws? You're right. We were disobedient. But what influenced us to be disobedient? Okay, so we were given the choice of life and death, right? And we chose life at first. And we began to thrive as a nation. We settled in the land. We had the kingdom at that time. What caused brothers and sisters to go away from the kingdom? You got the kingdom, man. Y'all got your own land. You got the laws of the Lord, the priests are in place. Everything is honorable. Everybody's righteous. What caused brothers to start going off? What caused people to start turning their back on the Lord and choose this way of life that caused death? What today causes brothers and sisters to choose death? Let's say you didn't even know that let's say you didn't even know that you could choose to serve God and live a good, healthy life, right? Why does a woman choose to be a whore? Why does a man choose to be a homosexual? Why does a man who God says he can have more than one wife, why does he lie and cheat? Why does he buy a prostitute? Why does he go to a strip club? Why does somebody get high when, if you're living a good life, you need to get high for it? What causes us to choose sin? What is this?
It says the world.
The world. Okay, what does the world do to cause you to sin? You're right. They make it look good. Get a sister a hand. You understand? The world makes sin look like fun. The world makes sin look like, oh man, it's popping. That's where it's at. So, trying to find a way to word it. The people who are sinning, they are not having fun. Their life is their life that okay, how can I put it? Outside of the fun, their life is completely miserable. Right? Someone who gets high, what is their life like when they're not high? They completely not just as boring, they hate their life when they're not high. That's why they live to get high. Somebody who's addicted to marijuana, and we got to start talking about weed like that. People are addicted to weed. Just like you got crackheads and you got heroin addicts, you have weed addicts. People are addicted to weed. Those people who are addicted to weed, when they're not high, they hate their life. They're completely miserable. You want to know why? Because something is inside of them saying, feed me weed. I need to get high. I can't sleep without getting high. I can't eat without getting high. I can't have sex without getting high. I need to get high. That is a demon. You understand? A lot of these people who have anxiety, it's a demon that will not let them rest without getting high. You understand? There's some people addicted to alcohol. They cannot do anything without alcohol. They need it. They can't have fun without alcohol. They can't even think straight without alcohol. I need to drink. Just let me sip. Just a little bit, please. I worked all day. I did everything I was supposed to do. Just please let me have a little sip. That's a demon. That's not them. Someone who's addicted. Some people addicted to sex. Some brothers got a woman, wonderful, happy, everything. They just have to have sex with a whore. It's not even the sex that they need, it's the whore. I can't turn her down. You can't tell her no. Why not? She's a slut. You might get a disease, brother. You might, hurt yourself. Leave her alone. They can't stop it. You understand? Because of a demon. Everybody understand? A lot of times demons, before we can be affected by them, we see them in someone else. And they present themselves to be, oh man, this is fun. This is where it's at. This is the life. But not knowing that person is completely miserable on the inside. That person is drowning. That person is, literally dying. Because living a sinful life is choose death. Everybody understand? So the sister said, when we were in the kingdom, we saw the other nations. We saw the other people. And we saw them and how they were living. And it looked like fun. It looked like it was, oh man, they partying. All the women half naked. Having sex with you. You mean you get to have sex with his wife and he have sex with yours? And y'all don't even care about it? Damn. That's crazy. We murder people we murder women who have sex with other men in our culture. We put a man to death if he has sex with another man's woman. You mean y'all get to swap wives? It seems like it's fun until you try it and you watching another man have sex with your woman. And something boils up inside of you that makes you want to murder everybody. But then there's a voice that comes in and says, you gave her permission. You let it happen. Why would a man do that? Why would a man give another man permission to have sex with his wife? It's a demon. It's a demon. Everybody understand? Come on with it.
I had made a post yesterday about that weed is a drug.
Mm-hmm.
And I say all types of Christians, they coming in like, weed ain't a drug, sir. Weed ain't a drug.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to smoke weed. I'm like, it's a drug.
Yeah.
It's a drug.
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. And not only is weed a drug, but it's one of the worst drugs because the people who use it don't think it's a drug. A crackhead knows crack is a drug. He knows this crack. A heroin addict knows they know in their mind, I'm putting poison into my body. I'm killing myself. But a weed smoker thinks that this is wholesome and wonderful and God made the herb and it's good. They think that this whole process that they're doing is something that's holy and righteous.
Right.
But they know that getting high makes them a different person. They know it. Actually, why you smoke? What it do for you, man? Well, I get high, man. I can be my mind open up, man. I can all kind of thoughts and things. Ask your sister, why you smoke? Well, I get to just relax, be with myself, be comfortable. I don't be thinking so much. It's like what crack does to a crackhead. It's like what heroin does to a heroin addict. But because of the lies of our oppressor, because of propaganda, they think it's not a big deal. And weed has a lot to do with why brothers kill each other. It has a lot to do with why relationships don't last. It has a lot to do with why we're not prospering financially. You can't keep a job you getting high all the time. You just wake you up. Listen, there's been times like I woke up and had 10 minutes to get to work. And I had to jump, rush those clothes on and run out the door and drive fast. If I was smoking weed, I wouldn't do that. I wake up, look at that clock and say, man, I ain't gonna make it. Go back to sleep. I work right now where I slave at least once a week. Somebody ain't. I mean, there's people I know for a fact that once a week they're not going to be there. And why would you miss a day of work every week for what? I don't understand it. I know how my check look after 5 days. I hate when it's 4 days. I hate my check after 4 days. Like, damn, why did I should have been there? Well, every week they missing a day. Why? Because they high. They're getting high as hell. And the weed is causing them to miss work. And they know it's ruining their life, but they're addicted. There's a demon that's causing them to choose death. Everybody understand? Let's get Let's get Numbers chapter 33, verse 5. Matter of fact, hold on. It's either Numbers 33 and 55 or Joshua 23 and 13. Hold on. Matter of fact, let's get Joshua chapter 23, verse 6. And understand that the Most High, the scripture says the Most High is a man of war. Everybody understands. And so what that means is that the Most High is a soldier of soldiers, a general of generals. Everybody understands. He is the Most High of hosts. And understand this culturally, as our people, we had a militaristic mindset. Just as a nation, we knew that men were made to be warriors. Men were made to be soldiers. And as a soldier, life is hard. Life is meant to be hard. But ingrained in our culture was a militaristic mindset. We refer to the Most High as the Lord of hosts or the Most High of the armies. You understand? He's the commanding general of the armies. That's how we refer to the Most High. When you see the Lord God or the Lord of hosts, host is an army. He's the Most High of the armies. Everybody understand? He's the commander of all the armies. But if we are his children, we are his servants, then guess what are we? We soldiers in the armies. Everybody understand? We refer to the Most High as the Most High of hosts. But let's go ahead and so I said that to say, being a general, being the Most High of the armies, what do you have to do in order to? What does a commander do to make sure his soldiers are always ready for war? How do you keep soldiers ready for war? Raise your hand. Don't sweat. Go ahead. Keep them in order. Okay. How do you keep them in order? Like what? Giving them rules. Okay. How do you make sure they following the rules? And how do the rules keep them ready for war? Think about it right now. America got an army, right? And America keeps their soldiers ready for war. How does America keep their soldiers ready for war? Anybody know somebody in the military? Esau's military? Come on with it. Train them. You gotta drill them. You gotta keep them doing operations. Esau's military right now. Esau ain't fought a war, and who since what? Korean War, right? Or they was just over there in Afghanistan, right? But if you know anybody in the military, once a month they go drill, which is they go out wherever they go at on the base, they go run, push-ups, sit-ups, they stand in formation, they march left, right, salute, they stand, they run, they jump, they do whatever they train them, right? Well, the Most High is the father of the, he's the commander of the armies, and we his soldiers. What does the Most High do for us? He drills us. He trains us. He keeps us ready for battle, keeps us ready for war. And that's what we're about to read here. If you understand that life is a spiritual battle, we battling demons and battling spirits of other nations and battling, people trying to influence us to do evil, then what is we gonna have to do? We're gonna have to always have a test, always have an operation, always be drilling to make sure that we ready for the battle. Everybody understands? Let's go ahead and read this. Joshua 23:6. So like a young man, tell you got it.
Be ye therefore very courageous to keep and to do all that is written in the book of the law of Moses.
Be ye therefore very courageous. What does it take to? No, it's don't sweat. What does it take to obey the Most High? It takes courage. It takes bravery. There's gonna be some things that Christmas for the kids. You're gonna let the kids have the tree. You're gonna put no present down there. You got to have courage to say, F that Christmas. No, my kids will not have a tree. I give my kids presents anytime. I'm not waiting for December 25th. Hell no, not in my house. It takes courage to stand against your family, against your grandmama. Oh, you love your grandma. Grandma love her baby. Grandma I gave you the tree. I put the present down there for you. You ain't gonna let the baby. No, grandma. No, grandma. It was wrong to have Christmas. God said it's wrong to have Christmas, grandma. Oh, baby, you let that culture. Listen, grandma, don't bring them. I'm not gonna talk about it no more. You want to give these kids something, grandma? You give them to them on the 20th, or we'll come see you on the 28th. But don't nobody call or show up on the 25th. It takes courage to do that. You understand? It takes courage to do the things the Lord said to do. You got to be brave. Everybody understands? Be ye therefore very courageous to keep and do all that is written in the book of the law of Moses. Go ahead.
That you turn not aside, therefore, to the right hand or to the left.
That you turn not aside to the right or to the left. Keep reading.
That you come not among these nations, these that remain among you, neither make mention of the names of their gods.
No, you got it. No, you too wild. I'll keep reading. No swear. After neither make mention of the name of their gods.
Neither make mention of the name of their gods, nor cause to swear by them. Neither serve them, nor bow yourself unto them.
You understand? Don't serve them or bow yourselves to them. Everybody understand? The Most High said, Moses, the Most High said, don't come among these nations that remain among you. Neither make mention of the name of their gods, nor cause to swear by them. Neither serve them, nor bow yourselves to them. What is the Most High saying? You not to do anything these other nations are doing. You understand? You not to pick up none of their habits or be influenced by them in any kind of way. Why did the Most High be clear to establish this? Because he knew what? We knew we was a separate people, but what else did he know? He knew that those other nations would make their gods and their way of life appealing. He stressed to say, don't you do none of the things some other people doing. Why? Because he knew we was going to want to do the things some other people were doing. You understand? Keep reading.
But cleave unto the Lord your God, as you have done until this day.
You understand? Cleave unto the Most High your God as you have done until this day. Keep reading.
For the Lord have driven out from before you, you great nation and strong.
You understand? The Most High drove out from before us great nations and strong. This is the Most High encouraging us, reminding us, listen, the Most High can do all things. He drove out from before you great nations. You understand? Very strong. Read on.
But as for you, no man have been able to stand before you until this day.
You understand? But as for you, nobody been able to stand before you. Meaning what? These other nations might be mighty and strong, but you have the Most High on your side. But you have me protecting you. So guess what? Can't nobody stand against you. Read on.
One man of you shall chase a 1,000.
One man of you shall chase 1,000. Read on.
For the Lord your God, he is the fight.
He it is.
He is that it fighting for you,
There you go.
as he hath promised you.
You understand? Keep reading.
Take good heed, therefore, unto yourself, that ye love the Lord your God. As if ye do in any wise go back and cleave unto the remaining of the thousands of these thousands. Like you said.
No, these nations. The
These
remnant.
nations.
That word is remnant. The remnant of these nations.
The remnant of
Yeah.
these nations. Even these that remain among you, and should make marriages with them, and go into them, and they to you.
And the Most High established, if you stand with me, you're going to drive out these other nations. One man of yours will be able to make 1,000 of theirs flee, because I'm the one that's fighting for you. If you cleave unto me, you're going to be safe. But if you go back and you cleave to these other nations, and you make marriages with them, and you join yourselves to them, here's what the Lord said was going to happen. Read.
Know for a certainty that the Lord your God will no more drive out of any of these nations from before you, but they shall be snares and traps unto you, and scourges in your sides, and thorns
Thorns.
in your eyes, until ye perish from off this good land which the Lord your God hath given you.
Everybody understand? The Most High said, know for a certainty that he will no more drive out any of these nations from before you, but they shall be snares and traps under you. That's what these other nations are. These other nations are snares and traps. What would we call a snare and a trap today? Sis. Set up. They're set up. What else would we call a snare and a trap? Prison. Prison is a snare. You know what I'm saying? Being locked up is a snare. Everybody understands? Falling into a ditch is a trap. Somebody has to set a trap for you to fall into. The Lord said that these other nations were going to set us up. They were going to be there to cause us to be enslaved, cause us to be in prison. And that's what these other nations have done. Right now, why do we go to prison? Following our oppressor's culture. There's no prison sentence for obeying God. There's no jail time. The white man ain't got no prison sentence for you doing what God said to do. Nothing that God said to do is illegal in this place. If you obey the Lord, then our oppressor can't do nothing to you. So what causes us to go to jail? What causes us to die? Not choosing to follow the Most High. Choosing our oppressor's ways. You understand? The Lord, it's so many ways that you can break this down, and it's ridiculous. But all the things that cause us to suffer come from not choosing to serve and follow the Most High. You understand? And that's why these other nations remain today. Because the Most High wanted us to fight against those other nations. He wanted us to see how they were living and say, so what? What we got over here is much better. So what? You can have your weed with the white man. I'm good on that. I don't want nothing to do with that. Think of all the things that are popular in black culture today, and they come from white people. You understand? Just name something. Name something today that's popular from black people, and I'll give you the white people that started. Somebody in class, name something. Just name something that we.
Foreign, as the young would say, foreign cars.
Foreign cars. Where did those come from? Who was the first one driving foreign cars? You understand? Who was flying cars over here from Britain? Flying cars over here from Japan? White man did that. You understand? I'm sure there's a movie. There's a movie or a TV show where somebody was driving a foreign car. It was a white guy. The white guy made it pop. Matter of fact, I give you one like Miami Vice. This is the cat of Miami Vice used to ride around and like Testarossa. That's white man give you that. Down there in Miami, Florida. Wasn't no niggas driving no Testarossa. Niggas couldn't even pronounce it.
Right.
Right now, you got niggas. There's things that come from Europe that black people can't even pronounce. They wearing it. You understand? Something else. Give me something else. Besides, we got foreign cars. Something else black people that's part of black culture today. TikTok. Okay, well, the TikTok is social media, right? So that's different than when I say culturally, meaning, for instance, there's a whole sexual liberation movement going on in this country, right? Empowering women to embrace their sexuality. Basically letting whores be whores. That black woman today, I'm a hoe, I'm a slut, and they proud of it. You got the Megan Thee Stallion. She rapping about all sex and what she do with a man and her vagina and all of that. She's popular being a whore. But before there was ever Megan Thee Stallion, before there was ever Cardi B, before there was ever a Nicki Minaj or a Little Kim, there was a Marilyn Monroe. There was an Elizabeth Taylor. You understand? There was a Margaret Sanger. People don't even know. You go back in the 60s when marriage was a big thing and being a hoe was horrible. Elizabeth Taylor was a white woman who married and divorced like 3 or 4 times in Hollywood. Elizabeth Taylor was such a whore that she came out with a song called Diamonds Are Forever. Diamonds Are Forever was a song about a man won't love you forever. You get with a man and have a relationship and he'll no longer want you. He'll leave you lonely. You can divorce him, but diamonds, they're forever. Elizabeth Taylor was the first marry a rich man and divorce him and keep his money whore in the earth. Not the first one, but she was the first one on TV. Go look it up. Elizabeth Taylor, Diamonds Are Forever. A white woman singing about getting a nigga for his money. Before you had a Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion, you had Elizabeth Taylor. Marilyn Monroe, superstar model lady back then. What was Marilyn Monroe famous for? Having sex with rich, powerful men. She was such an open hoe that she sang happy birthday to the president in front of his wife and kids. But sang it in a sexy way. You go watch Marilyn Monroe Happy Birthday, Mr. President, and you will feel ashamed for the president. Like, are you really singing this in front of my wife and my kids, you nasty slut? Marilyn Monroe started it. Go listen. I mean, you ain't got to go listen, but I grew up listening to, but I think Little Kim was the first, whore rap woman. Before Little Kim, you had MC Lyte and Queen Latifah, all these, even Lady of Rage. You had these good black rappers, women, but they rapped about women stuff. Little Kim was like the first whore. Go listen to Little Kim, and she'll tell you about Marilyn Monroe, Zsa Zsa Gabor, some white woman. I don't even know who she was. Zsa Zsa Gabor was another white. She was like a European white whore. But she was another woman who was, rich off of marrying some cat and divorcing and taking his money. You had Nicole, what was the Nicole broad that married the oil tycoon cat? He was old as hell. Anna Nicole Smith married some old nasty white man who was on his deathbed. He died. She kept all the money. Didn't give his family nothing. And she ended up a drug addict. All her kids ended up drug addicts, and she died. But she's the one that showed women, go get you a rich man. Marry him and then just get all the money. Then the black athletes wonder why all these women they married divorced them after a while. They learned it from white women. Look at think about gangster rap. There once was a time where rap music was about the struggle. Rap was about, persevering and things like that. Then here come your gangster rappers, right? Where did all your gangster rappers learn about being a gangster from? Because black people's culture wasn't a gangster culture. Black people's culture up until the 80s was about the struggle. We was down for each other, trying to build our community. What caused us to turn into criminals? Say it. The mafia. Every black criminal enterprise tried to pattern itself after the mafia. Where did black people get the idea to, be a gang and separate yourselves from these other people and extort the people in your neighborhood? We learned it from Italians. You understand? Think of one of the most famous examples I have. Everybody remember Jay-Z, right? Rockefeller Records, right? Jay-Z used to call himself Jay Hoffa. Jay Hoffa comes from Jimmy Hoffa, who was a gangster up there in New York a long time ago. All the rappers that rapped under Jay-Z in Rockefeller Records, Memphis Bleek is the name of an old Italian gangster. Beanie Siegel was the name of a gangster from a movie. Some movie they had. You understand? The entire Rockefeller Records, all of them was named after Italian gangsters. Why? Because that's who the gangsters were. Black people wasn't never the gangsters. We was following white people's culture. Selling drugs in our own community, that was never something that we would do. That was following our oppressors' culture. Turning our women into whores, that's not something that we would ever do. That was following our oppressors' culture. The white man is the one who started a Playboy magazine, putting his women up there naked and half naked and sending it all across the world. That wasn't black culture. That's not something that we did or took pride in. But when you follow your oppressor's culture, the Lord said it become thorns in your eyes, scourges in your sides. Following their culture is traps and snares. And that's what we caught into. You understand? The life of death that we have chosen comes from choosing to follow our oppressors. You understand? Let's get Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. And again, we choose these oppressors' culture because they make it look like fun. They make it look like what they have going on is what's popping and where it's at. And when we see it taking place all over the earth right now, you can watch as like right now, our oppressor pulled out of Afghanistan, right? You got Afghanistani women over there fighting against their government because they want rights and freedoms like the American women had. And them Muslim women over there, them Muslim women are in them Muslim garments. Them Muslim women are in those hijabs with their head covered and their face covered. And they see American women running around naked and they think to themselves, oh man, naked is so much fun. Why can't we be naked? Why we gotta be covered up? Those women don't understand that American men don't respect these women. Men over here don't respect the half-naked whore. Those women over there, they want to take off their mask. They want to take off their Muslim covering. They want to be able to be free to dress like American women dress. Because it looked like American women having fun. Those women don't know that American women are miserable as hell. Because yeah, someone will want them and have sex with them, but nobody wants to marry them and be with them forever. Nobody wants to make a family with them. Somebody will have sex and have a kid, but they don't want to have a family. That's how the oppressor influences you. That's how he spreads his demons onto you. He make it look like it's fun, make it look like it's enjoyable, when the entire time it is destruction. All right. Go ahead and get Psalm chapter 3, verse 31. Proverbs 3. No, is it? No, is it? Hold up. Proverbs 3:31. Yeah, this is it. Proverbs 3:31. Trooper, you got it.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. That's what the Lord told us. You understand? And understand that sin, the beginning of sin comes from envying somebody who is sinning. You living a righteous life, seeing somebody sinning, it look like it's fun. Look like, man, you ever been in, any of y'all have, if you ever had like strict parents growing up, you would be in the house, or you would have to go on. I remember having to go in a house when the street lights came on. And I remember, I gotta go, man, street lights coming on. And I would be going in the house and my friends would still be out there playing. And I remember one time I said, "Man, I hate I gotta go in the house when the street lights come on. Man, I wish I could stay out here with y'all all night." I had a friend tell me, I wish I had to be in the house when the street lights came on. I wish I had a curfew, man. I mean, your family care about you, man. They care when you come in the house. My family don't even care. And I thought, dang, that's rough. I never complained about those street lights ever again. You understand? There's some of us, we got these laws of the Most High. You might feel like, hey, man, I got all these rules and I can't do all the stuff I can't do. But the people that's out there doing everything wish that somebody gave them boundaries, gave them some rules. Come on, sis.
Just yesterday, she was telling me she was about to divorce her husband because he bought a dog in the house and she said this was it. She wanted kids first. And I said, well, when my husband bought the dog, I was just like, hey, we got a dog now. You know, I didn't question it. And she was like, see, I wish I had this spiritual dad. I can't be. She's like, I was brought up one way, like, do for myself, do this, do that. I wasn't brought up serving a man. She said, I really wish I had some kind of spiritual dad where you don't. Because I was telling myself, I didn't ask no question. I said, you was drinking this with your husband, or when you bringing the dog in. She said, I packed it myself and went to my dad house. And my dad told me to go back home to your man. And she was like, I really wish. So what you saying, you know what I mean? They wish we want to be like them, but they really want to be like us.
Yeah. And people like that woman you just described, she wishes that she could stop herself from packing up and leaving. And she wishes she had control over herself to say, okay, he bought a dog, but so what? She don't have power. She cannot say so what.
Right.
She has to rage and go crazy and pack up and leave and go to her daddy's house. She has no power over that. Because the thorn in her side is so strong that she cannot resist it. She can't fight against it. Because she doesn't have the option of choosing life. She only knows what she's been taught by her. What she's been taught, and what she's been taught is the oppressor's culture. What she's been taught is it goes against the culture that the Most High gave us. You understand? Invite that sister to class.
I want to.
Tell that sister, say, sister, you know, we talked the other day and you told me about how you wish you was brought up different, you know, and you know, it's never too late to, you know, learn some new stuff. And just say, you know, I'm you know, with this organization and they specialize in allowing people to start over. Just invite her to class one day. You know what I'm saying? Let me know before she come to class, you know what I'm saying? And I'll tone it down. If she work with you or whatever, I'll you know, maybe hold off on the white man since the devil. You know what I'm saying? I'll give her some, I'll make it a uplifting Israelite class. You know what I'm saying? So that way you ain't gotta go back to work and she's like, man, girls, Crystal crazy as hell. They talking about white people, this and that. You just let me know, all right? But that's a lot of our people are out there, they're suffering, fighting against things that they are powerless against. They don't have the power to tell themselves no or to stop from what they're doing. Again, brothers and sisters addicted to marijuana, they don't know how to stop smoking weed. They don't know how to fight against the urge or the desire to get high. So they're a prisoner in their own body. That's what the Lord meant when He's called it snares and traps. Everybody understands. But if we just stop envying the oppressor and we didn't choose none of his ways, then we would be able to choose the way of the Most High. You understand? When it says envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways, it's talking about everything the oppressor does. Everything the oppressor does and says is okay and acceptable, that goes against God. There's not one thing in this American society that is acceptable that does not go against God. And everything that we do, everything that we say that to stand for the Lord, it goes against the oppressor. Everything. There's not one thing that we do and we stand for that doesn't go against the oppressor. You understand? So what does that mean? You are living among an oppressor whose way of life goes against God, whose everything is a fight against God. So what does it mean you have to be if you're going to stand with the Lord? If everything that you do is going to be going against your oppressor, then what do you have to be in order to obey God? Anybody? True. Gotta be a soldier. Gotta be a soldier. It's impossible to serve the Lord and not be a soldier, which is why he's the most high host. Like, I want y'all to understand that. That's how it's always been. Since the beginning, if you're going to serve the Most High, you got to be a soldier. Because if you are not a soldier, you are not going to be equipped to battle this battle. You are not going to be able to fight and win this war. Your life is a war. Your life is a battle. And it is a battle against everything that goes against God. And to stand with God, you're going to have to fight. You're going to have to fight the other nations. You're going to have to fight what you see on the TV, what you hear on the radio, what you see in the streets. You're going to have to fight the thoughts that you have in your mind. You understand? So much of our oppressor's way of life is inside of us that we don't realize it. You understand? We have to acknowledge that there are things inside of us that we don't even know is there. And it's not until we hear the word of the Lord that some of those things begin to surface inside of us. When those things surface, you have got to fight. Everybody understand? Envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Let's go ahead and drop that. Let me get Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12. Look at the young man. You read it. Proverbs 14 and 12.
A scorner, love is not one that broke.
No. Proverbs 14 and 12. No sweat.
There is a way that seeming right unto a man, but the end, therefore, are the ways of death.
Everybody understand? There's a way which seems right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. You understand? It may seem right to celebrate Christmas. Hey, do it for the kids, man. Grandma did it for us. You know, we grew up celebrating Christmas. It was a wonderful time, good time. Christmas leads to death. Every year in the black community, somebody got to die. Why? Because the nigga got to get them Christmas presents. You understand? Around Christmas time, the dope is extra dopey. You understand? They got to get them fiends buying that crack, man. That crack is extra cracky. You understand? That dope is extra dopey. Why? Because they want the crack. They want the fiends coming back. People dying of overdoses, man, because the drug dealers are trying to get more money. You understand? The whores are whoring extra hard around Christmas time. And they you know, it's rough out there. You understand? The robbers, they extra robbery around Christmas time. You understand? Because they got to get that money up. It's an evil thing, but that Christmas is a death note for a lot of black people. You understand? And the entire spirit of it is when you step back and really look at it, it's an evil thing, man. To cause people who are in poverty, who are living below the poverty line, making minimum wage, to force them to have to go out and try and make a Christmas happen for their kids, it's horrible. It's you know, why would you do that to somebody? That's so cruel to do that to people. And our oppressor, you know, all of the Christmas commercials and all the, you know, holiday savings, it make it so that if you a kid and your family don't do, your daddy don't come through for Christmas, your daddy was an evil nigga. You know what I'm saying? You're a single mama, you got 3 kids, and you don't make everybody's Christmas amazing. Your mama wasn't nothing. And it's so evil. When that's something that we shouldn't even have to, it shouldn't even be a part of our thought process because it goes against God. You understand? But it seemed like it's the right thing to do. all of our precious holidays, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, think of all the, for New Year's, all the death and the destruction that occurs in our community in those days. Might seem right to celebrate those holidays. Hey, it's just ain't no big deal. It's a day off from work. It's death in that. You understand? And those are the things that the Lord wanted us to avoid. Yeah, I know. If we just obeyed Him. All right. Let me see something. Are we good on that? We can drop that. Let's go to the New Testament. Let's get let's get Romans chapter 6, verse 16. Yeah, Romans 6 and 16. Trooper, you got it.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 16. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness.
Everybody understand? Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey. Again, there's a choice. You can choose to obey the Most High and you'll be his servant. Or you can choose to obey your flesh and you'll serve your flesh. Everybody understand? Either way, you're going to be someone's servant. And that's important for us to understand. A lot of black people say they don't want to follow nobody. I'm talking to people about the truth. They say, nah, man, I don't want to be in no camp. I don't want to follow no man. Well, who are you following then? If you're not following the men that's teaching you to follow the Most High, then who are you following? Who could you possibly be following if you ain't following the men that's teaching you to follow the Most High? You following yourself to destruction. Everybody understand? It said that a man who teaches himself has a fool for a student.
Right.
You understand? Because why would you go to learn from yourself when you know that you don't know nothing?
Right.
What you gonna teach yourself?
Right.
If you could teach yourself, then why are you failing? Why is your life the way it is if you could teach yourself? You understand? That's a demon also. A demon to tell you that I ain't gotta follow no man, I ain't gotta serve nobody. Who you serving then? You understand? When we were in that wilderness, the children of Israel had no problems following Moses. They had no problem doing what Moses said to do. Why? Because when the Lord, we covered this in class the other day, when the Moses came to visit them, there was a volcano on the mountain. And nobody wanted to talk to the Lord no more after that. They was fine talking to Moses. Everybody understand? We in the time again where you can follow God the way He's leading you in your mind, and you see the drug addiction, you see the destruction of our people in our community, or you can serve the Most High by taking heed to the word of His prophets. Everybody understand? But those are the only two choices: is to serve the Most High, to serve sin unto death, or to be obedient unto righteousness. Everybody understand? Let me go to go to Romans 7 now. We're on Romans 7. Hold on. Let's get Romans chapter 7, verse 14. This is a scripture I go to a lot, particularly concerning this topic, you know what I'm saying, righteousness versus over wickedness. Or choosing life over death. It's important that we understand this. All right. Trooper, you got it. All right. Romans 7 and 14.
Romans chapter 7, verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin.
All right, let's break that down. All right. For we know the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. What does it mean that the law is spiritual? So, and I think this is important, right? We live in a time where you'll meet people and they'll say, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. Right? You gotta ask them, what does that mean? That you're spiritual. What does it mean to be spiritual? Some people think that, they think that being spiritual is, well, I follow my horoscopes. I don't believe in church. I don't go to church, but I follow my horoscopes. They think that's being spiritual. Some people that think, I stretch and I meditate. So I'm spiritual. I don't pray. I stretch and I meditate. They think that's being spiritual. You understand? You got some people, again, like I talked about yesterday, some women that pay attention to the moon and the planets alignments, and they think that that's spiritual. I don't go to church. I don't believe in no Bible, but the Mercury's in retrograde. I got to be careful. They think that's spiritual. You understand? What does it mean to be spiritual? The Bible says the law is spiritual, so there's something to being spiritual. But what does it mean to be spiritual, sis? Oh yeah.
You don't follow after your flesh.
You don't follow after your flesh. That's true. That's a good answer. But the next question is, what does it mean to not follow after your flesh?
Like doing what's natural.
Doing what's natural is following after your flesh. Okay, so what is it? So what is being? So being spiritual is not doing what's natural.
So being spiritual is not doing what's natural.
Okay.
Not doing what's natural. Like I automatically I have the urge to, like, let's just say I have the urge to go smoke. I'm gonna go smoke.
Okay.
And spiritually is I want to do these, but I'm not gonna do them.
Okay, that's it. That's get a sister hand. That's the answer. All right. Being spiritual is doing the things that go against your nature. In nature, if a male dog comes across a female dog in heat, sex is happening. This is going on. This is going down. Nothing's going to stop it unless you lock that dog up and separate them. If they allowed to get around each other, humping is happening, sex is going on. The dogs don't say, what kind of dog are you? The dog don't say, well, you a big dog. You can have a Chihuahua and a Rottweiler. Rottweiler female, Chihuahua male dog. That male Chihuahua going to try and impregnate the female. He not going to say, well, you a Rottweiler, I'm a Chihuahua. I don't know if I can even get up there. No, he going to be humping. And she gonna try to get it to the way he can get in there. They're going to try to make a way. You understand? That's natural. Spiritual is, I'm a man. And I meet a beautiful woman. I say, where you from? She said, well, my father's from Thailand. My mother's from South Central.
Right.
Spiritual says you're not an Israelite. I can't have sex with you.
Right.
I can't have nothing to do with you. That's spiritual. Yeah. Carnal, natural, no matter where your mama from. I wouldn't even ask where you from. Just say, you want to get it on? All right, let's get it on. Everybody understand? To be spiritual is to do the thing that goes above your nature. And a lot of times people make comparisons between people and animals, right? And sometimes they're appropriate. But we were made to be better than the animals. You're not no dog. You ain't no cat. You understand? The Lord gave you a spirit to be greater than the animals. So the thing that animals do is not an excuse for you. Everybody understand? Being natural, being spiritual is going above your nature. You understand? And the reason why I say that is because, okay, right now, I've argued with some homosexuals recently. And homosexuals have pointed out that among certain animals, amongst most animals, there's a dominant male, right? The male fights with other males for the right to be the dominant male. You got deers, right? You ever see deers? Deers will go out and ram their horns into each other to prove who's the big dog so that he can go have sex with the female. Well, the male deers who lose, they don't get to have sex with no females. But there's some animals that go have sex with each other. The males, they lose. They ain't getting no females. They'll go have sex with each other. That's the oppressor's way of saying, see, homosexuality is natural. It happens in nature all the time. Well, guess what? We are better than the animals. You understand? Hey, homosexuality is not acceptable. Everybody understand? It is not, and I'd be surprised if them homosexual animals ain't watching white people. Right. Gay deer seeing some white men broke back mountain hunting, and then now they act they're being gay. I don't think that's natural. Everybody understand? But being spiritual goes above your nature. Everybody understand? In the wild, the animal get hungry, they gonna eat whatever. If a hyena hasn't eaten, they probably made no kill. They'll come across the dead leftovers from some other kill. They'll eat them. They'll eat all the scraps of that leftover animal. We come across something. We ask, what is that? What kind of meat is that? We come across some spaghetti. What kind of meat is that? Some meatballs. What they made out of? Pork meatball? No, I can't eat none of that. You understand? They got some kind of casserole. What's in that casserole? I see some peas and some carrots and some what's that meat that's in there? Oh, the pork. No, I can't have none of that. You understand? That's spiritual. There's things that we restrict ourselves from. Why? Because it goes against the Most High. So being spiritual is living on a higher level. The law is spiritual. The law causes you to live on a higher level. The law causes you to live beyond, am I hungry? Am I horny? You understand? Do I need to put something in my belly? That's being spiritual. Everybody understand? So the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. The law is spiritual, but we natural. We in natural physical bodies, and these physical bodies want what it wants. But being spiritual means I deny my body what it wants. Keep reading.
Verse 15. For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that I do not. But what I hate, that do I.
Understand this. So I'm going to clear it up for us, but it could be a little confusing. Paul says the law is spiritual, meaning what God said is right. But his body is carnal, sold under sin, meaning what? His body is a prisoner to sin. Everybody understand? Verse 15. Verse 15. For that which I do, I allow not. Paul is a man who's a soldier. He has men under him. Paul is saying that which I do, I allow not. Meaning the thing his body wants to do is the thing he doesn't allow anybody else to do. Everybody understand? Paul teaches, man, you better not have no sex with no whores. You better not be joining no whores to the body of Christ. But what does Paul's body want to do? Have sex with whores. That which I do, I allow not. Everybody understand? For what I would, that do I not. For the thing that he would do, the thing he promotes. Hey, brothers, you know what I'm saying? Trying to think of some examples. Hell, don't celebrate Christmas. Don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Your family having dinner on Thanksgiving, you don't go eat with your family. They having Christmas dinner, you don't go over there and be around your family on Christmas. What the things that he would do, things that he do not. But where is he? He go get a plate from grandma on Christmas. You understand? He go get a plate on that. He go get some leftovers on that Thanksgiving, that turkey and that cranberry sauce. You understand why? Because his body wants to eat that food. You understand? The end of verse 15. But what I hate, that do I. Again, he tell everybody, don't you celebrate none of them holidays, but he's at the barbecue on the 4th of July. Everybody understand? Verse 16. If then I do, now of course this is all metaphor. Everybody understand? Paul wasn't sinning, but he's saying the battle inside of him is the things that he would not allow. Those are the things that his body wants to do. The things that he would do, the way he would resist certain things, but his body is like, do it. Everybody understand? Verse 16, if then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that it is good. Everybody understand? If I do the things that I know are wrong, then I accept that the law is good. What's good about the law? If you do the things you're not supposed to do, what does the law say it happens to you? If you break the law, what does the law say happens to you? You get punished. That's what he's saying. He's saying if I do the things that I'm not supposed to do, then I consent that the law is good, meaning I should be punished. If I do the things that go against God, then I should expect to be punished. I should be welcoming the punishment. When it comes, I should be, thank you, Lord, for punishing me because I deserve it. Everybody understand? A lot of our people are being punished for breaking God's law, and they don't even know that that's what's happening to them. They make all kinds of excuses and blame everybody but themselves. In this instance, Paul is saying, no, blame yourself. You know you ain't doing right, and bad things happen to you, then you consent that the law is good. A lot of our people aren't aware of the law. So when horrible things happen to them, they blame everything except for themselves. Make excuses. When there are no excuses. Everybody understand? There's acceptance and acknowledgement, but there's no excuses. You did wrong, there's a reason you did wrong, and it ain't got nothing to do with anything besides you being weak. It's just your weakness that caused you to do it. But we'll find a million excuses. We'll find a million things to blame. Hell, when Adam sinned, he blamed Eve. Adam sinned, he said, Lord, this woman you gave me, man, she got me twisted up, man. It's her fault. Lord said, what the heck? Don't you do that. Don't blame her. It ain't her fault. You understand? It's just your fault. You was weak. You was supposed to have been stronger than that. You was supposed to resist that. Everybody understand? Verse 17. Now then, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwells in me. Paul saying this, if I'm doing these things I'm not supposed to do, it's not me that's doing it. I would obey God. I would serve the Lord. It's sin inside of me is what's causing me to do these things. It's what's in my flesh is stronger than my spirit. Everybody understand? How do you get your spirit to be stronger than your flesh? Your flesh is strong. It wants what it wants. But how do you cause your spirit to be stronger than your flesh? How do you get control over your body? How do you get control over the things that you do, the places you go? Train. You gotta drill, like we talked about earlier. You gotta drill. You gotta train. It's the way any soldier gets good at anything. It's the way anybody gets good at anything. You got to practice. You got to train. And there's a way to practice strengthening your spirit. There's a way to train your spirit. One way is coming to class, reading these scriptures, staying in the word. What's another way? Fasting. Deny your flesh. Your body needs food and water to survive. Go a day without eating and drinking. You understand? Go, you fast. Fasting is what strengthens your spirit because you'll learn to tell your body no. Your body is dying for a drink of water. You tell your body, no, I'm not drinking till the sun goes down. I made an oath with the Lord. I'm not drinking till the sun goes down. And you're going to be thirsty. And your body going to be crying out. Everywhere you look, y'all got these babies. Y'all going to be feeding the babies. And the baby looks so good drinking that milk. You're going to want to drink something. You're going to be dying for it. You're going to be, let me get a little taste of the baby. You're going to try to kiss the baby, hoping the baby dribbles something in your mouth. That's your flesh fighting against you. You got to resist your flesh. You got to fight your flesh. And in fighting your flesh, by practicing fighting your flesh, you'll actually get strong against it. Somebody who's addicted to drugs, the only way to get them off of those drugs is they're going to have to practice fighting. Somebody who smokes a ounce of weed a day, and guess what? You got to smoke a half an ounce. You smoke a blunt every 2 hours. You got to go 4 hours. After them 2 hours, and you want to smoke, you tell yourself, no, not 2 more hours. I said 2 more hours. Set you an alarm. And you're going to see in them 2 hours, as you fighting that smoke, your brain is going to tell you all kinds of wild stuff. You're going to realize, what do you mean? There's actually someone talking to me about getting high. I said I'm not smoking till 8 o'clock tonight. It's 6 o'clock, and something inside of me is saying, nigga, you better go smoke now. Can't wait till 8 o'clock. Man, at 8 o'clock, it's going to be too late to cook. I'm going to miss the club. You're going to be like, what the hell is going on? Who is this talking about getting high? I said I'm waiting till 8. Now you know that there's another nigga inside of you.
It's like,
Now you can now that you know that it's there, now you can begin to prepare to fight. But a lot of times we don't even know there's another. We think that's us. The person who has anxiety, who smokes to get rid of their anxiety, they think that it's them that needs to smoke. They think it's their thoughts. They think it's their thoughts saying, I need to get high, I need to smoke. When you decide to deny yourself the thing you're addicted to, then you learn, oh, that's not my voice. That's something else. What is it? That's sin that dwells in you. That's that thorn that's in your side that's trying to get you to disobey God, to go against the Most High. And when you realize that there's something else there, you got one or two options. Either you're going to fight that thing for control, or you're going to let it continue to control you. You understand? And letting it continue to control you is a miserable existence. Because once you know that there's something else that's there, you want to be in control. You want to be in charge. That thing will not let you. You got to fight. You got to learn. You got to train. And you got to get the Lord on your side. Everybody understand? Romans chapter 7 verse 18 says, for I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwells no good thing. For to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good, I find not. Everybody understand? He knows that it is something present in him that is that good. And it is sin. Everybody understand? And that's where a lot of us are at. So the reason why brothers and sisters choose death is because they're powerless. They're weak. Everybody understand? And the only way to get strong is to learn the truth. It's to understand these scriptures and understand this law and how to apply it to our lives, and then to be able to train and get strong so that we can free ourselves from the thing that has us caught in snares and in traps. Everybody understand? So if we want to get free, we got to give our life to the Most High. We got to turn and obey him and understand that only through him can we be free. Everybody understand? With that, we got any questions before we close out the class? Come on, sis. Ecclesiastes 3:11 and 12. You know, get it.
The set the world in their heart, and then the no man can the work that the Most High made. That's what I want to break down.
Okay, Ecclesiastes or Ecclesiasticus?
Ecclesiastes.
Okay, Ecclesiastes 3:11. It says, he have made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he has set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh, from the beginning to the end. All right. What's your question?
The set the world in their heart.
Mm-hmm.
11, and then the no man can find out the work that God maketh from beginning to end.
Okay. All right. So boom. So this is talking about. Let's get verse 10. Ecclesiastes 3:10 says, I have seen the travail, meaning the work or the trouble, which God hath given to the sons of men to be exercised in. Meaning I've seen all the difficulties that God places in man's life, right? Verse 11, he have made everything beautiful in his time. The Most High made everything beautiful in his time, right? Also, he has set the world in their hearts, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end. All right. So your question is, what does it mean to set the world in their heart? The Most High. Okay. Set the world in their heart is talking about man's mind. Talking about the thoughts of the imaginations of man. The Most High he gave us this brain, and he gave it its limitations. You know what I'm saying? There's only so much we can comprehend about the world around us. Right now, this class is being broadcast through the air all around the world, right? We can't see the waves, the radio waves. We can't see there's something that's beaming between me and this camera that's allowing this camera to capture my visual and send it onto the computer. I can't see how the camera is capturing my image, but I know that there's beams and rays and energy that's all around me, but I can't see it. God set the world in their heart. God gave us God allowed us what he allowed us. You know what I'm saying? So there's things about the God's work that we can't comprehend. We can't understand. You understand? God did that. He made it so that we couldn't understand everything. You understand that? Esau science will tell you we only use 10% of our brain. But damn, where the other 90% at? God set the world in their heart. You understand? God established the limitations and the boundaries of what man's mind can do. And he did it so that man could not find out the work of the Lord from the beginning to the end. There's things right now. What stops the water at the beach from just washing up? Oh, the white man don't know. What the hell stops the water at the beach from just washing up and covering everything? The white man don't know. Everybody understands. And if you think about that, that's crazy. Yeah, that blow your mind. Like, hold up, man. What the hell? Who decided that that's where the water gonna stop? What's the formula for that? What's the quadratic equation? You know what I'm saying? I know that shit. White man can't figure it out. And there's plenty of examples of that in the scriptures. Again, in the book of Job, where the angel asked Job, can you go and get Leviathan, draw him out the water? You know what I'm saying? Can you stop the behemoth on the land? No, he can't. He can't do that. You understand? When Ezra's questioned the Most High asked Ezra, can you measure the weight of fire? The weight of fire? Hold up now. What kind of mathematics is that? Now, white man can't measure the weight of fire. The white man can't tell you what causes, the wind that blows outside this door. Where did it start from? What caused the wind to pick up magic? The white man don't understand that. But God has formulas for all those things. And we know it because the angels asked the question. Can you measure the weight of the fire? Damn, fire has a weight to it? Right. Apparently so. You know what I'm saying? How can you measure the depths of the deep? No, white man can't tell you how deep the deepest part of the ocean is, but apparently there's a way to measure it. There's things that we can't comprehend or understand because the Most High set the world in their heart. You understand, right? No sweat. That done on that? All right. Any other questions? Come on with it.
Get a full breakdown on the Ark of the Covenant.
The Ark of the Covenant. Okay, I'm gonna say that for Tuesday. Tuesday's class, we'll talk about the Ark of the Covenant, get an understanding of what it was, what it wasn't, and why men died when they touched it. All right. All right. With that, clap it up. All right. Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Again, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have classes from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Your brothers and sisters tuning in, you got family, loved ones, people you care about in the Memphis, Tennessee, and surrounding areas, get them in contact with the school. We do have rules for new brothers and sisters when they come into the school. When they come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to learn and shed themselves to the world. You understand what that means? Is that new brothers and sisters, we salute y'all, and then that's it. If you need any counsel, anything pertaining to your walk, you contact your camp leader, get some counsel. But other than that, no, fraternizing between the brothers and sisters until you all do your 6 months to get an opportunity to change and truly become who it is the Lord called you to be. Everybody understand? With that, pay your tithes, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Again, the tithes come into the school, they go to build up these schools. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we're teaching class. We got class here in a small space in Memphis. We're looking to get a building. Everybody understand? Looking to expand. Pay your tithes. It goes towards the work of the Lord. Your tithe money does not go to pay nobody bills or get nobody a nice car or nice clothes. It goes to making sure that the people who come to serve the Lord have the things that they need. Everybody understand? All right, with that, you want to be a troop in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And Amajim, which means to stand. Wafunya Hakadom, which means turn and face the east. And we can go ahead and set up these prayers, all right? All right, this is the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemkah, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazah, Kawak, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathanlanau, Lakum, Ka, Yawum, Wasalakhanau, Kabubwafnau, Kasalak now.
Kasalak now.
Kababafia now.
Kawawaku now.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Tabayan now.
Tabayana now.
Banasaya 1.
Banasaya 1.
Abo.
Abo.
Hawashai now.
Hawashai now.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rad.
Rad.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Hamalakwa.
Hamalakwa.
Waha'ala.
Waha'ala.
Wahafapara.
Waha'ala.
La'abalamyam. Aman.
Amen.
All right, it's the Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done
Thy will be done.
in earth
In earth,
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily bread.
and forgive us our debts
Forgive us our debts.
as we forgive our debtors.
Forgive our debts.
And lead us not to temptation,
Not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
I will say the prayer for the power in Hebrew. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahushua,
Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Baba Kashah,
Ba'ashem.
Nathan Lanau,
the thunder now,
Hakak, Hakak,
Akak.
Lara Pa'ah,
Power,
Kau Makala,
power,
Wakau Marawa,
Akak.
Hakak,
Hakak,
Latahar, Hamataz Ryan, Hakak, Lahakrim, Hamafian, Hakak, Al Rakawa, Hatama Allah, Lagarashan, Bahashim Yahushua, the water Aman. Say the prayer for the power in English. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of
in
Yahushua,
the name of Yahushua,
please
Please
give us the power,
give us the
the
power,
power to heal
the power to heal
all manner of sickness
all manner of sickness,
and all manner of disease,
all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
power to cleanse the
the
leper,
power to raise the dead,
power to raise the dead,
the power against unclean spirits,
power against unclean spirits,
to cast them out.
to cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahushua,
thank you.
thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
I will say the prayer for our loved ones in the Hebrew. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahushua,
Ba'ashem Yahushua,
Barak Lanau, Wayasha Allah,
Wayasha,
Wahabiyah, Saparian,
Sapari,
Barak,
Barak,
Rapah,
Rapah,
Magun,
Magun,
Hagun,
Magun,
Yasha Allah,
Yasha,
Mahashim Yahushua,
Ba'ashem Yahushua,
the water Aman.
Wa'aman.
All right, we're going to say what we just said. We're going to say the prayer for the loved ones in English, all right? Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushua,
Name of Yahushua.
bless us
Bless us
and Israel
and Israel
and the school.
and the school.
Bless,
bless,
heal,
heal,
shield,
shield,
protect
protect
our loved ones.
our loved ones.
In the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahushua.
thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
All right, we'll say the prayer for the power structure, Salaki, in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahushua,
Wa Yahushua,
Wa Mayaka Allah,
Wa Mayaka,
Wa Alahayim,
Wa Alahayim,
Matazab Ya'ah,
Tazabiyah,
Alawak Yahan,
Alawakiyah,
Ha Alawakyan,
Alawakiyah,
Ha Saranyam,
Hasaranyam,
Ha Kwadazayanyam,
Hakazayanyam,
Ha Kayayayam,
Hakayayayam,
Waha Agwathyam,
Wa'amakiyah,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashim Yahushua,
Ba'ashem Yahushua,
the water Aman.
Wa'aman.
All right, we'll say the prayer for the power structure in English. Bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahushua,
and Yahushua,
and Michael,
and Michael,
and the angels,
and the angels,
Commander General Yohana,
The
the generals,
the generals,
the captains,
captains,
the officers, the troopers,
troopers,
and the sisters.
and the sisters,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushua,
and Yahushua,
thank you.
thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
All right, Psalms, we turn. Men of Israel, we'll give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Ba'adim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Barakathon. Yajmatah, hands down. Sarah, turn and face the sisters. Get the sisters one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Ba'adim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shema, Alathan, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Sis, repeat after me. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shema,
Shema,
Alathan,
Alathan,
Ba'ashem
Bahashim,
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
That's the Most High watch over you in the name of Yahushua. Yajamatah, hands down, class dismissed.